Right, hello everyone, and welcome to Warren's Team Talk. Thank you very much for coming in today and saying hello to me and joining me for all the madness and mayhem that's going to ensue. I hope this afternoon, because if it is, it means that we're going to have an entertaining afternoon. And Taib's in the chat already. Hi, Taib. Mate, you're always the first one in here. It's absolutely superb. I love it. Big up to you, mate. Thank you very much for your support. I really do appreciate it. So Taib knows why we're here. We're gonna follow all the action from mostly the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the FA Premier League, but we'll also be keeping a close eye and all the other 3 p.m. kickoffs up and down the country. So it should be an entertaining afternoon, hopefully. So without much further ado, we've got a few other things I want to talk about. I just want to big up the people from Ukraine and wish them all the very best of luck with their struggle to keep their freedom. I just can't imagine what hell that must be for them. It must be absolutely horrendous. And, I just hope that Vladimir Putin sees sense and withdraws his troops from Ukraine and that peace can be found, because it's ridiculous and it's inhumane and disgusting. And I'm glad to see that the Champions League final has been taken away from Russia. I'm also really glad to see that Poland have refused to play the World Cup playoff match that they got coming up against Russia on the 24th of March. Also that day, Scotland will be playing Ukraine. I don't know what's going to happen about that game, but personally I'd like to see Ukraine be given a place in the World Cup finals if they can do. I'd like to see Russia kicked out of the tournament, and what I'd like to do is for it to happen is for Poland and Scotland to play a playoff game for the other place that would have been contested between Poland and Russia, and let it work like that, because it's not acceptable. It isn't. I know people say you should keep sport out of politics out of sport. Sorry, but I think that's bollocks. I think it's absolute bullshit. It's a really powerful tool that you can use to make these people see sense. It happened with apartheid back in the day. And I think we can do it again with this one, because we need to. And we need to be taking some action against them to make them see sense. I'd also want to see UEFA kick all the Russian clubs out of European competition. I don't know if there's that many left, but I think Spartak Moscow are still in the Europa League or something, but they shouldn't be, in my opinion, they shouldn't be allowed to participate. Anyway, that's enough. I'm not going to go on anymore about it. It's just one more thing to say. I got sent a link earlier, I think yesterday, for a petition to try and stop the war. So I put that link in the description of this video. If you feel so inclined, please feel free to click on it and sign it. It's free. But I'll leave that up to you. It's completely up to you. I'm not going to try and influence you in any way. I just want you to know what my opinion about it was, because this channel, as far as I'm concerned, is all about talking and people having their opinions. So even if they are Arteta out. Anyway, Taib says, Warren, I like 2 players from this season's Blackburn Rovers team. Reja, Kadra and Beraton Diaz. Good players, mind you. Now, I don't know anything about them, mate. I know that Blackburn are doing really well in the Championship this season, and one of the players is scoring loads of goals. So, yeah, they must be doing something right then. But anyway, let's move on and look at the game that kicked off earlier today. Tottenham went to Ellen Road for the lunchtime kickoff, and they won by 4-0. And it looks like they absolutely battered Leeds, to be honest. You look at these stats, they had 51% possession, 15 shots, 11 on target, won 6 corners and committed 11 fouls. Leeds, on the other hand, had 49% possession, 19 shots, 3 on target, 3 corners, and committed 16 fouls. So let's have a look at the Premier League table. And Joanne's in the chat. Hi, Joanne. I hope you're all right, mate. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much for coming in. I really appreciate it. And Ty says, hi, Joanne. How are you? So this is the Premier League table after the game lunchtime. And Tottenham had now moved up to 7th. They're 3 points behind Arsenal, but they played a game more. But we do have to play them at White Hart Lane, and we haven't beaten them at White Hart Lane since Thomas Rosicky slapped in that goal in the first few minutes of that game years ago. So, yeah, it's going to be a really tricky one. We've also got to play Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and we've got to play Liverpool at home. So all these gooners that are jumping up and down saying we got 4th, we're going to get Champions League. I don't think it's cut and dried, mate. I really don't. There's a lot of games still to be played. I did I think yesterday, I went through all the teams that are competing to finish 4th and looked at all their fixtures. And I think Arsenal are going to end up finishing 7th or 8th. I really do, because we've got some really difficult fixtures coming up. And, particularly with this bloody clown of a manager that we've got. But anyway, I'm not going to keep battering Mikel Arteta. The poor guy has got enough of that off me. But there you go. And last night, Southampton beat Norwich City by 2-0. Poor Norwich had stuck bottom of the table, and Southampton are now up to 9th. I think they're too far adrift to get themselves in the top 4 race, but God knows, you never know, really. Del Boy Gunner TV is in the chat. Hey, Warren, hi, and Taib and Joanne. Del Boy, has Bono left your internet connection alone now? Jesus Christ, you poor fella. I felt so sorry for you earlier, mate. I really do. I really did. And Joanne says the poop gonna hit the fan soon, says Joanne. You're absolutely spot on, darling. I think it is. And Ty says, hi, Del Boy. And Craig Malloy's in the chat. Hi, hello, Warren. He says, hi, Craig. Nice to see you, mate. Thanks for coming in. And Del Boy Gunner gives me a thumbs up. Yeah, mate, we need to send a few boys round to have a word with that little shit. Have a chat with him about his behaviour. And Joanne says, hi, Del Boy. And Del Boy Gunner TV, big ups, is Craig Malloy. Joanne says, hi, Craig. And Del Boy Gunner says, Bono is a brat. Well, he is when he's fucking around with people's internet, that's for sure. Anyway, so let's move this conversation on. It's not a Bono YouTube channel after all. It's a football one. So, the 3 p.m. kickoffs today are Brentford against Newcastle, Brighton and Hove Albion against Aston Villa, Crystal Palace v Burnley, and Manchester United against Watford. And these are the teams that Brentford and Newcastle putting out. Taib's going to love this. He always loves me reading these teams out because I have real trouble with some of the pronunciations. But here we go. Brentford, they've got Raya, Jansen, Aya, Pinnock, Henry, Norgard, Jensen, De Silva, Janel, Membreno, and Wissa. And on the bench, they've got Lossell, Canos, Gahodos, Onyeka, Tony, Eriksen. Big up Christian Eriksen. Excellent. Lovely to see him back. He's on the bench there for Brentford. Zanka, Baptiste, and Ruislev. And then Newcastle got Dubravka, Emil Krath, Shah, Byrne, Target, Shelby, who's captain, Joe Willock, Joel Linton, Ryan Fraser, Jacob Murphy, and Chris Wood. And their subs are Darlow, Dummett, Lascelles, Fernandez, Manquillo, Almiron, Gale, Longstaff, and Bruno. So let's see how they're lining up. So this is the Brentford and Newcastle lineups. Brentford are going for a 3-5-2, and Newcastle are going for a 4-3-3. Right, on to Brighton and Burnley. Now, I had a lot of trouble with this because they didn't know it was the next one. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Brighton against Burnley. Brighton have gone with Sanchez, Lamptey, Cucurella, Dunk, Bissouma, Malpai, McAllister, Trossard, Moder, Marsh, and Veltman. And on the bench, they've gone with Steele, Gross, Alzate, Welbeck, Duffy, Casido, Leonard, Ofaya, and Ferguson. And then the Burnley team, sorry, not Burnley, what am I talking about? Well, get a grip of yourself, son. And then Aston Villa team is Martinez, Cash, Konza, Mings is captain, Digne, McGinn, Douglas Luiz, Ramsey, Coutinho, Ings, and Watkins. And then on the bench, they've gone with Olsen, Chambers, Hulser, Young. Oh my goodness gracious me! How do you say that? Ero Gumbunum or something. Sanson, O'Reilly, Buendia, and Bailey. And then the lineups, they've gone with Brighton are going for a 4-1-1. And Villa are going for a 4-3-3. And there's some more chats here. And Joanne says, yep, there's going to be turds flying everywhere. Yeah, it's going to be messy, that's for sure. Especially if he old Feltetta starts trying to direct him on the touchline. Craig Malloy says, hi, Joanne Smith. Joanne Smith says, I go for United win. Yeah, I think that's almost cut and dried, mate. Joanne says, a Brentford win. Yeah, possibly. I'm not sure, to be honest, with that one. Go. Dave says, go on, Ron. Great try, laugh at that. I'm trying. I am trying. I know I'm trying. I'm very trying. Okay, so moving on. So the next one is Crystal Palace and Burnley. This is one I had loads of trouble with because the BBC didn't publish the starting lineups till about 10 minutes before I was due to come online. I was getting really angry with them. And I even put the lineups in from the onefootball.com website. And then after I'd done that, the BBC put them on. It's just like I think they're trying to tell me something, but still, there you go. Anyway, Crystal Palace, they've gone with Butland, Klein, Guaya, Anderson, Mitchell, Miholovic as captain, MacArthur, Gallagher, Olise, Zaha and Schlupp. And on the bench, they've gone with Guaita, Kelly, Koyate, Hughes, Eze, Edouard, Ayew, Benteke and Mateta. And Burnley are going with Pope, Roberts, Tarkowski, Pieters, McNeil, Cork, Brownhill, Lennon, Rodriguez and Weghorst. And then the sub-bench, they've gone with Hennessy, Lowton, Taylor, Barnes, Westwood, Cornet, Collins, Bardsley and Long. Now, the starting formations, Crystal Palace are going with a 4-3-3 and Burnley are going with their traditional favoured 4-4-2 formation. They're tried and trusted, and it's nice to see that some things don't change, isn't it? Right, Man United, they're going with De Gea, Lindelof, Pogba, Ronaldo, Fred, Fernandes, Varane, Telles, Wan-Bissaka, Matic and Elanga. And on the bench, they've gone with Henderson, Dalot, Jones, Maguire, Shaw, Lingard, Mata, Rashford and Sancho. Wow, Maguire's been dropped to the bench. Bloody hell, that's a bit of a shock. And then Watford, they're going with Foster in goal, Nagakia, Lauza, King, Cleverley, Kamara, Cathcart, Sissoko, captain. Samir, I'm guessing that's not Samir and Nasri. Sarr, Dennis, and then on the bench they've gone with Bachmann, Traoré, Kong, Yao Pedro, Messina, Cerna, Cabaselli, I think that says, Hernandez, Kuka, and Kayembe. And their starting 11s, like Manchester, their formations rather. United are going for a 4-2-3-1, and Watford are going for a 4-3-3. So there we go. So let me just get up my BBC. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. The BBC website, so that we can follow what's going on. What? Right, so yeah, let's get that up. And then right. Joanne says, on his hands, go around like a wind turbine. Exactly. It's like a bloody it's like a bloody human windmill. That's why I used to call him Windy Miller. Crystal Palace 3, Villa 2, says Joanne Smith. And Taib Hussain says, Arteta should go down Windmill Lane the way his hands are non-stop all game, laugh out loud. Joanne says, Palace win. Yeah. I think the Palace might actually win, to be honest. But Anyway, let's see how we're doing. So there should be about 5 minutes gone now. Let's see if there's been any goals as of yet. Let's close that. Let's close that down. Right. Okay. Because otherwise I'll only end up getting confused and frustrated when it won't do what I want it to. Anyway, so the 3 games that are kicking off, 3 of the 4 games that are kicking off 3 o'clock are still 0-0. Brighton and Villa game doesn't appear to have kicked off yet. I'm not quite sure why that is. Let's see if we can see what's going on. No, doesn't really say anything. Very strange. Well, you know what the BBC website is. It's not the best, is it? And it's like someone's hit the woodwork. Looks like, and United nearly break their deadlock in the opening 5 minutes with their first attack of the game. But Cristiano's low drive comes back off the foot of the post. Ronaldo is in a poor spell in front of goal, scoring just once in his past 9 games. Jesus, is it that long that he hasn't scored? And Simon Stone from the BBC Sport at Old Trafford is saying both teams plus managers stood in front of a banner before kickoff at Old Trafford, which proclaimed the word peace in numerous languages, including Russian and Ukrainian. This idea was manager Ralph Rangnick's and was embraced by the players and supported by the club. Well, fair play to them and fair play to Ralph Rangnick for putting that forward. And James McFadden says United have to approach this right. What are you after, mate? A medal for speaking the bleeding obvious? I mean, of course they got to approach it right. I mean, you can't go if you go to any game and don't approach it right, you're going to end up in trouble, aren't you? What a muppet! Dyche has done a brilliant job. Crystal Palace 0, Burnley 0. Garth Crooks, former Tottenham Hotspur striker, on final score. A few weeks ago, I couldn't see Burnley staying up. Those 2 wins have changed things remarkably. Sean Dyche has done a brilliant job. Well, he has, but he always does. And he seems very happy at Burnley and very at home. I can't really see him. I think it will take a fucking massive offer to prize him away from Burnley because it just seems to suit him down to the ground. So yeah, and 7 minutes gone and still no score. Let's go. What's this before we do that? Newcastle's double act. Phil McNulty from the BBC's matching body language from Newcastle United manager Eddie Howe and assistant Jason Tindall as they stand side by side in the technical area, both making notes, then both making the identical signals to get their team further up the pitch. Synchronized coaching. Yeah, that'll be the next thing at the Olympics. We'll be having synchronized coaching. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. These people, they're just off their heads. Off their heads. It just makes me laugh how these people get bloody jobs. Anyway, so let's see if we can see what there's any goals anywhere else. Yeah, Aberdeen are losing 1-0 at home to Dundee United. They've not had a good run of things of late. It's Dundee 0, Livingston 1 as well. Good win. If it stays that way till the end of the game, I know it's very early in the game. Be a big win for Livingston. I think they're right down near the bottom of the the Scottish Premiership table. Barnsley 1-0 up against Middlesbrough. Big derby. That match, I used to know a couple of Barnsley and Middlesbrough fans, and they used to fight like cat and dogs, but got on really well. I don't know if that makes sense, but I know what I mean. And then so the Tykes will be really happy if they manage to get one over on Middlesbrough, because it is a big derby between them two. And then in League One, Cambridge are 1-0 up at Oxford, and Portsmouth are losing 1-0 at home to Fleetwood Town. That won't go down with the Pompey fans, I'm sure. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Charlton Athletic 0. Yeah, Charlton Athletic, that's not far away from here, where I live. I think it takes about half an hour to get there by car. So yeah, but they're another one. They're another lot. They're mad as hatters, that lot. Charlton, lovely people, but they're just fucking off their heads. And Wigan 0, Sunderland 1, and oh dear, look at that. Women's FA Cup, Chelsea women 7, Leicester women 0. Dear oh God. Leyton Orient 0, Carlisle United 1 in League 2. And Port Vale 1, Stevenage 0. So, yeah, there's not many goals about at the moment. Let's hope that changes a bit later. Let's see how our friend Dan Evans' mob are getting on. They're playing today. Stockport County, they're drawing 0-0 at home with Weymouth. There you go. And what else? All right, so the Irish Premiership, this is especially for Del Boy. Coleraine 0, Ballymena United 0, and Dungannon Swifts 0, Larne 0, and Glenavon 1, Glentoran 0, and Portadown 0, Warren Point Town 0. Warren Point, yes, excellent, get in there. And Spanish La Liga. Valencia 1-1-0 at Mallorca. Getafe are playing Alaves. Rayo Vallecano, that's in Madrid, for those of you who don't know, home to Real Madrid. So that could get a bit feisty. And Atleti are at home to Celta Vigo. The Bundesliga, Union Berlin 1, Mainz 0. Bayer Leverkusen 1, Arminia Bielefeld 0. Borussia Mönchengladbach 0, VfL Wolfsburg 2. It's coming up to half time there. Freiburg 1, Hertha Berlin 0. What other ones? Bologna winning 1-0 at Salernitana. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, so I think that's about it, really. And there's a team called Arsenal in the Russian Premier League. Bloody hell. God help us. Anyway, so and there's been a goal, people. It's come at Selhurst Park. So here we go. It's time for the magic one. It's time for the magic one. And the goal has gone to Crystal Palace. And it's been scored by Schlupp in the 9th minute. And it was assisted by Ololise. So Crystal Palace take an early lead against Burnley. So bit of a, well, I don't know, will you say that's a shock or not really, but on current form it probably is, because Burnley have been doing really well of late. But yeah, Palace 1-0 up at home to Burnley. And it's gone. And it's back again. This is what I don't like about this bloody BBC website. They tell you there's a goal, then it disappears, then it comes back again, then it disappears. And it's got nothing to do with VAR either. This fucking website is mad. But anyway, so let's go back and see what's going on. Craig Malloy says Leeds are considering Bielsa position at the football club. Is that right? Bloody hell. Well, this late into the season, I think they'd have to be really careful about sacking him now, because if they want to get someone else in to try and keep him in the Premier League, then they're going to need to do it ASAP, because how many games have they got left? I don't think they've got that long left. Let's just have a look at the league table. I fucking don't want to look at that dickhead's face. Yeah, so they've got 12 games left. So if they if they got rid of him, say over the weekend, and they appointed someone new, they'd have to, that person they appointed wouldn't be able to have any time to settle in. They'd have to come in and hit the ground running. But Leeds, if you're listening, I am available. I'm available at a cheap price, £1 million a year, and I'll be happy to do it for you. And I can guarantee you they'd stay up. Brentford down to 10 men against Newcastle, says Craig Malloy. Right, thank you, Craig. Let's go and have a look at that and see what's happened. Because there may be some what the hell is going on? Yeah, De Silva has been sent off in the 11th minute. So what that means that's it. You're off. Yeah, so De Silva's been given these marching orders, and poor old Brentford, they're up against it now. That might have an impact on whether Christian Eriksen is able to get on the pitch later on, particularly if they try and shore the game up. But it's good news for Newcastle, but they'll be very happy that they've gone down to 10 men. So, big question for everyone in the chat, right? I want to know what you guys think. Are Arsenal going to... Where are Arsenal going to finish in the Premier League this season? Put it in the comments. I really want to know. In the chat box, I really want to know what you think. If I knew how to put a poll in here, I'd put a poll in, but I don't know how to do it. There must be a way to do it, because I've seen other people who use StreamYard putting polls in. But I honestly don't know. But yeah, let me know what you think. Because, like I said, the other day I did this thing where I compared all the teams that are going for the top four, and I predicted the results of the game. I tried to be completely impartial about it as well. I think I was, and I had Arsenal finishing 7th or 8th, I think. Actually, let me see if I can get it up. Hold on, let me see if I can find it, and I'll put it on so that you can all look at it. Hold on, people. I'm just looking for it. Oh, here it is. I found it. It's a spreadsheet. It's all blank though, so don't expect anything dramatic, because I haven't tarted it up or anything. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and share it so that you can see it. So let's see if I can do that. And right, here we go. Right, so there you go. There it is. And what I thought would happen, that there is the positions in the league as they are at the minute, right? Now worry about that column which says pods and then all that, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right next to it, right? But it's got the teams' names and where I think they're finished. Now, this doesn't include today's games. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a rundown between now and the end of the season. So every week I'm going to put on one of my streams an updated one of this. So Man United, I think they're going to end up finishing 4th. Oh, here we go. Yeah, at the top. So Man United will finish 4th. They'll end up getting 72 points. Arsenal will finish 7th and they will get 66. West Ham will finish 8th with 61 points. Wolves will finish 6th with 67 points. And Tottenham will finish 5th with 68 points. So that's my prediction. For between now and the rest of the season, I predicted Man United to get 26 points, Arsenal will get 21, West Ham will get 19, Wolves will get 27, and Tottenham will get 29. So what I'm going to do, like I say, is between now and the end of the season, I'm going to keep. I'm going to put that in every week, so that we can keep an eye on it, because I think it's interesting, really. So anyway, let's get back to this. So in our games, it's still Brentford 0, Newcastle 0, Crystal Palace 1, Burnley 0, Manchester United 0, Watford 0. I've got absolutely no idea what is going on with this Brighton and Aston Villa game. They're not showing any data about that whatsoever. I don't know if something's gone wrong somewhere. But what I'm going to do, that's a good idea. Let me see if I can see if the score is... if the score is going up. If the score is anywhere else. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to see if I can get a stream up and see if there's anything going off with there. So it's Brighton against Aston Villa, isn't it? Make sure I turn the volume down so I don't get done for copyright. And nothing seems to be happening. I don't know what's happened. The match ball, they're still waiting to come out. I don't know. The game hasn't kicked off. That's why it's not showing up. That is a bit mad. Something must have happened. Yeah, something must have happened. Because the game hasn't even kicked off. They're all stood in the tunnel. So let's have a look on here. See if it says anything. No, I can't find any information about what's going on with this Brighton Villa game. But they're all sitting in the tunnel, so it should kick off shortly, I'd hope. But anyway, no doubt it will come up shortly. But if anyone in the chat knows what's going on, can they please let me know? I'd be really interested to find out. So let's go and have a look what's going on in that Brentford Newcastle game. So let's see. Right, let's go and look down at the tail of the tape. It's currently 0-0 and Silva has been sent. The Brentford player, De Silva, has been sent off. And so far, people using the BBC website are saying that Mbeumo is Brentford's best player and the worst player is De Silva. So no surprises there, given he got sent off. And let's see what what it says about Newcastle. Burn. And Joe Linton, according to this, is Newcastle's best player at the moment. He's got an average rating of 7. It's gone down to 7.65 now. Right, so the match stats, as you can see, Newcastle are enjoying 62% possession. Brentford have had no shots and no shots on target. Wow. That's bad. And Newcastle have had 7 shots and 2 on target. Brentford have won 1 corner and Newcastle have had 2. So there you go. Let's go down to Selhurst Park now and see what's going on there. And it's 1-0 at Selhurst Park. Excuse me. It's 1-0 at Selhurst Park. Schlupp scored for Palace. He scored in the 9th minute. And Ololise provided an assist for that goal. And so far, no surprises. Conor Gallagher is Palace's best player. He's got an average rating of 8.21. And Burnley, let's see who theirs is. Yeah, it looks like their best player is Brownhill. He's got an average rating of 6.03. And the match stats for this game, Crystal Palace have had 60% possession. Burnley obviously have had 40%. Palace have had 6 shots, 2 on target, and they've had 1 corner. Burnley have had 2 shots, none on target, and 1 corner. And the foul count is 6-1 to Burnley. Some people, not me, I hasten to add, would say that's not a surprise. But no, you won't catch me saying that. And the Brighton game has kicked off. Obviously, there's still no score. It's only 1 minute old. Man United and Watford, let's see what's going on there. Now, I personally don't think this is going to be an easy game for United. Half an hour gone and it's 0-0. Watford have really tightened up at the back since Uncle Roy has been put in charge at Vicarage Road. So, and United's best player so far, or is as voted for by the people that are using the BBC website, is Alanga with a rating of 7.38. Interestingly enough, Cristiano Ronaldo has only got a rating of 6.16. Watford, their best player at the moment looks like it's going to be the keeper. Yeah, it's the goalkeeper. It's Fraser Foster. He's got an average rating of 6.72. Now, the match stats are saying Man United have 63% possession as opposed to Watford's 37. Man United have 7 shots and Watford have had 3. And United have had 1 shot on target and Watford have had none. And the corner count is 2-2 and the foul count is 3-0 to Watford. So there you go. So, and the Brighton game after 3 minutes is 0-0. Let's go and have a look around the rest of the country and see what's going on. And so in the Scottish Premiership, it's now Aberdeen 1, Dundee United 1. It's Dundee 0, Livingston 3. And Livingston going a bit mad there. Ross County are losing at home to St Johnstone. And it's 0-0 between St Mirren and Hearts. In the Championship, it's Blackburn Rovers 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Show the scorers. Yes, that's a good idea. And Kadra has scored the goal for Blackburn. There you go, Tayyip. Your man Kadra scored again. Barnsley are 2-0 up against Middlesbrough now. Anderson and Bassi. Let's see if Balogun is playing for Middlesbrough today. No, he's not. He's not. Let's see if he's on the bench. Yeah, he's on the bench. So Balogun ended up having to go to the bench. Anyway, so Birmingham are 1-0 down at home to Huddersfield Town. It's Blackpool 1, Reading 1, Bournemouth 0, Stoke City 1. And all the other games except Peterborough United and Hull City are goalless. It's 0-0. But Peterborough United 0, Hull City 1. Peterborough United are the Warren's Team Talk choice in the FA Cup. They will be playing Manchester City, I think, on Tuesday in the 5th round of the FA Cup at home. Before that game takes place, I will be putting out a preview for that game. So Peterborough, I'm sure they're bracing themselves for an onslaught. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see how they cope with Manchester City. Yeah. Basically, what I did with that is at the beginning of, well, when was it? For the second round, I think it was. I got my computer to pick a team out at random. I did it in Excel and got it to generate a random number. And I gave all the teams that were in the second round a number. And then the number that Excel picked, whatever number that matched against the team, that was the team. And it picked Bolton Wanderers. Then what happened then was I started following Bolton Wanderers in the FA Cup. And then when they got knocked out, I followed the team that knocked them out. And until they got knocked out by another side, and I followed that team. And so it's gone on. It's got to the point now where my selection is Peterborough United, and they're playing, like I say, on Tuesday against Manchester City. So that should be interesting. Right, so League One, it's Accrington Stanley 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2, AFC Wimbledon 1, Doncaster Rovers 0, Burton Albion 0, Shrewsbury Town 1, Cheltenham Town 0, Crewe Alexandra 1, Lincoln City 0, Gillingham 0, Milton Keynes Dons 1, Bolton Wanderers 0, Morecambe 0, Ipswich Town 0, Oxford United 0, Cambridge United 1, Plymouth Argyle 0, Rotherham United 0, Portsmouth 0, Fleetwood Town 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Charlton Athletic 0, and Wigan 0, Sunderland 1. And in League Two, it's currently 0-0 between Barrow and Harrogate Town and Bristol City and Mansfield. It's currently Bristol Rovers 1, Exeter City 1, Colchester United 0, Oldham Athletic 1, Crawley Town 2, Forest Green Rovers 0, Leyton Orient 0, Carlisle United 1, Newport County 0, Tranmere Rovers 0, Port Vale 2, Stevenage 0, Rochdale 0, Northampton Town 0, Sutton United 2, Scunthorpe United 0, Swindon Town 0, Salford City 0, and Walsall 2, Hartlepool United 0. And Stockport County are 1-0 up against Weymouth. That will keep Dan Evans very happy, I'm sure. So I hope he's at the game and enjoying the game. So yeah, I think that's about it really. Yeah, so let's go back now and catch up. And there's been a goal at the Brentford Community Stadium. So that means there's a goal at the Brentford Community Stadium and it's gone to Newcastle. It's Brentford 0, Newcastle United 1. See what's happened there. And it's gone to Joel Linton. Joel Linton has scored it. He scored in the 33rd minute, and the goal was assisted by Fraser. Good goal for Newcastle. That they're slowly and surely starting to move away from that relegation zone. But what that does mean, it means that it's dragging more and more teams into the relegation dogfight. So other teams will be nervously looking over their shoulders. So if we look at the league table, we can see that Newcastle are currently 2 points clear of Burnley of the bottom three, but they're equal on points now with Everton and 1 point behind Brentford. Sorry, 2 points behind Brentford, 1 point behind Leeds. So those two clubs are getting dragged into that relegation dogfight. And Leicester City and Aston Villa need to be very, very careful because any more really bad results, and they could be sucked into it as well. So the chat here from Skool Gunner says, Warren, I'm back, sorry. Warren. I was organising my live stream for Tuesday at 7 p.m. I'm getting your mate Julian back on. Oh, mate. What are you doing to me, Del Boy? Oh, God almighty. Mate, I hope you're going to have a serious debate with him about the Mikel Arteta situation, because that will be very entertaining, because I'm telling you, man, that man is off his head. He's off his head. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that comment about Mikel Arteta being the greatest manager ever, I nearly went mental. I would have, if I'd been with him, if I'd been in standing distance of him, I would have throttled him. Because when you speak to him on that stream, I want you to ask him where he thinks that Mikel Arteta stands up against, how he compares with some of the greatest managers the game's ever seen, the likes of Jock Stein, Alex Ferguson, Brian Clough, because I'm telling you, if he says he's better than all of them, you will be absolutely able to destroy him. You will destroy him because on the evidence of what? What evidence is there for that? It's just crazy. I'm convinced that he's a troll, and that I wouldn't be surprised to find out that he's an actor. That he's just doing it to wind up Arsenal's fans. I know that sounds mad, but it wouldn't surprise me, you know. But fair play to you to getting him on your channel, because I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't, because I'd lose my temper with him. When I was younger, I would have been able to cope with it, but not now. No, I just couldn't. But fair play to you, mate, for doing it, because I couldn't. I couldn't. He would just drive me up the spanner, and I'd end up like losing the plot with him. And there's been another goal. Oh my word! Here we go. It's starting to kick off. There's been another goal, and it's come another goal at the Brentford Community Stadium. It's Brentford 0, Newcastle United 2. And this goal has gone to Joe Willock. Joe Willock, the Gooner himself, has scored it. And Shah provided the assist. So it's now Brentford 0, Newcastle United 2. So, yeah, it looks like Eddie Howe is starting to work his magic at Newcastle. And, yeah, they're doing very well, people. Let's have a look at the league table. So I don't know if that's taking account of that that result or not. But let's have a look here and see what it says on this one. Bloody hell, look at that. Newcastle are up to 14th. They're up to 14th if it stays like that. They'll be on 25 points. Everton will be one place above the relegation zone. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, poor old James Dunlop. Bless him. Yeah, one place above the relegation zone. Look at that, people. Who would have thought that? So Newcastle slowly clawing themselves out of trouble. And their supporters, Newcastle fans, would be absolutely rocking. Oh, what have I done? Well done, Warren. You've just... You're off your head, Warren. What are you doing? Right. Okay. So let's take that one out. And what we're going to do... Sorry, people. I don't know what I did there. I really don't. Right. Okay. So let's go back and football scores and fixtures. Right. Okay. So there we go. And there's been a goal at the Amex Stadium in Brighton. And there's been a goal at the Amex Stadium in Brighton, and it's gone to Aston Villa, and it's been scored by, I was going to say it's been scored by Pat Cash. Pat Cash was a tennis player back in the day. He was an Australian tennis player, good mate of John McEnroe's, but obviously it wasn't scored by him. You know, I am off my head. Yeah, so Brighton 1-0 down at home to Aston Villa. So there you go. And it's scored by Matty Cash, and apparently it was scored against the run of play. Villa are 1-0 up. So half-time already, Jesus. Time's flown by. So it's half-time scores, people. It's Brentford 0, Newcastle United 2. Crystal Palace 1, Burnley 0. Manchester United 0, Watford 0, and currently 17 minutes gone. It's Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. And there's some comments here from Leeds Pascal Strujic, speaking to BT Sport. He said, conceding so many goals and losing every game, it's not fun for anyone. It has been hard. The results are not very good. It's really hard to take. Going into the next game, you have to try and keep belief and keep going out, but keep going and keep going. But of course, when you are not getting results, it is hard. So there you go. So other scores up and down the country at half-time. It's Aberdeen 1, Dundee United 1, Dundee 0, Livingston 3, Ross County 1, St Johnstone 1, St Mirren 0, Heart of Midlothian 0. And in the Championship, it's Barnsley 2, Middlesbrough 0, Birmingham 0, Huddersfield Town 2, Blackpool 1, Reading 1, AFC Bournemouth 0, Stoke City 1, Cardiff City 0, Fulham 1, Coventry City 0, Preston North End 0, Luton Town 0, Derby County 0, Millwall 0, Sheffield United 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Bristol City 0, Peterborough United 0, Hull City 1. And League One, it's Accrington Stanley 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2, AFC Wimbledon 1, Doncaster Rovers 0, Burton Albion 0, Shrewsbury Town 1, Cheltenham Town 0, Crewe Alexandra 1, Lincoln 0, Gillingham 0, Milton Keynes Dons 1, Bolton Wanderers 0, Morecambe 0, Ipswich Town 0, Oxford United 1, Cambridge United 1, Plymouth Argyle 0, Rotherham United 0, Portsmouth 1, Fleetwood Town 3, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Charlton Athletic 0, and Wigan Athletic 0, Sunderland 2. And in League 2, it's Barrow 0, Harrogate Town 0, Bradford City 0, Mansfield Town 1, Bristol Rovers 1, Exeter City 1, Colchester United 0, Oldham Athletic 1, Crawley Town 2, Forest Green Rovers 0, Leyton Orient 0, Carlisle United 1, Newport County 0, Tranmere Rovers 0, Port Vale 2, Stevenage 0, Rochdale 0, Northampton 0, and it's Sutton United 3, Scunthorpe United 0, and it's Swindon Town 0, Salford City 0, and finally it's Walsall 2, Hartlepool United. Hartlepool United 0. Right, so let's get back. So 23 minutes gone. It's Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. And let's get back to the chat. Delboy Gunner says, tune in, Warren. I told him I'm allowing people in the chat to ask him questions. Mate, I'm gonna give him an absolute roasting. Yeah, I'll be there. No, I'll be gentle with him. I promise. I might have to take some Valium, but I'll be all right. Del Boy, I'm also going to ask him. What's the question I was going to ask him? Yeah, did he want Mikel Arteta to start with? When Unai Emery got sacked, was it Mikel Arteta he wanted as manager? And if it was, why? Given the fact he had no experience, no coaching experience, no management experience, what made him think that he'd do a good job? And does he think that a club like Arsenal, the third biggest club in English football, should be employing novices in such positions as what Mikel Arteta has got? That's what I'd want to know. Because I've asked, I don't know whether you used to watch the Claude and the Bansters channel, but I kept asking Terry, because he was massively Mikel Arteta in as well, why he wanted Mikel Arteta, because he wanted him from the get-go, but he'd never ever answer the question. And and Diesel kept asking him, if Mikel Arteta had been number 2 to Sean Dyche, would you have wanted him? He would never answer the question. He would just keep avoiding answering the question. He's like a politician, this fella. He's very, very clever about handling questions, because that is something I am crap at. I really am. I just would not. I can't do it. That's why I never make a good politician. And he just kept refusing to answer the question. Mate, don't worry. Listen, let me tell you something, right? I will always, if I'm free and I'm available, I will always come and watch your streams. Always, without fail. And if you're streaming and I'm not available, I'll watch it on playback and put comments in. I can guarantee you that, because that's the way I am. That's the way I like to do it. Taib says, Del Boy, laugh out loud. You like getting all the funny ones on your channel. Laugh out loud. I don't know whether I'd call Julian funny, but I know what you mean, Taib. I know, Taib. I like to hear what the enemies are talking about. Mate, give someone enough rope and they will hang themselves. That's what I think. And I think you're doing it perfectly. I really do. Whether he'll be honest with you, that's another matter. Because I'd like these fucking clowns hooked up to a lie detector test. I really would. So why not Sentiment FC, or just Sentiment FC as I like to call him? Big up, Warren, he says. Big up to yourself as well, mate. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. And he says, big up, Taib. Yeah, thanks for very much for coming in, mate. I hope you're well. Sentiment FC says, what's the bleeding Gunacore, Del Boy? Sorry, man. I can't do a good Dublin accent. Del Boy, I've got a story for you. Right? You've lived in Dublin most of your life, I think I'm right in saying. So I used to work in an Irish organisation. It was a housing association. And I used to manage a project that helped unemployed homeless people find education, training, or work. And we had an administrator, and let's just say he was very blunt. And he was Irish, and he came from a town in the Irish Republic that was just over the border from the north of Ireland, but I can't remember what the name of the town was. But he had a problem where he wouldn't be able to stop himself, and he would just say exactly what he thought, like, and he wouldn't be able to like work out that it wasn't always appropriate to do that. And I remember one day I invited this fella in, and because he was over from Ireland, and he worked on a special project in Ballymun, and this bloke, I remember saying to him before he came, "Do not fucking say anything dodgy, Malachi. Just fucking watch what you're saying," and because I knew that there was going to be an issue, I knew it, and I said, "Do not fucking say anything about Ballymun, all right?" And so this fella was working on this special project in Ballymun, and I thought that we could do some really good work with him. So anyway, he came in, he sat down, and I'd made him a cup of tea, and we started having a chat. Malachi bowls over and goes, "Yeah, mate, what about the horses?" I fucking nearly lifted him out of his fucking seat and threw him out the window. I couldn't fucking believe it. I said, "Malachi, can I have a word with you in the back, please, mate?" And I went in the back. I said, "What did I fucking say to you about not saying anything about fucking Ballymun and fucking not insulting the man?" And it was just crazy. And Taib says, "Big up Sentiment," and Sentiment FC's all good, Warren. You good, bro? Yeah, I'm fine, mate. So that was a mad one. That was a crazy fucking turn of events. And this fella was always doing shit like this. That was why I knew that there was going to be an issue when I had this fella in from this project on Ballymun. And it was crazy. And then I remember we had this other fella who was from Dublin, and he insisted, he kept calling me horse all the time. He'd come in and he'd see me, go, "How you doing, horse?" So, fucking hell. I said to one of my colleagues, "Why does he keep calling me fucking horse?" And he said, "Oh, it's something that Dublin people do all the time. They like to refer to people who aren't from Dublin and other parts of the country, and they just like calling them horse." I don't know. I just thought I'd share you those funny stories of when I was working in that Irish organisation with you, mate. So, anyway, anyone else got any funny stories they want to tell? Just please put them in the chat, and I'll be happy to read them out. As long as they're not really fucking really insulting. And there's been a goal at Palace at Selhurst Park. The second half has started, and there's been a goal already in the first minute of the second half. There you go, people. And it's gone to Burnley, and it's been scored by Milivojevic. It's an own goal in the 46th minute. So it's Palace 1, Burnley 1. And I'm sure that Sean Dyche is absolutely delighted with that. The other scores in the Premier League at present is Brentford 0, Newcastle United 2. Brentford down to 10 men because De Silva got sent off in I think it was about the 10th minute. He got sent off in the 10th minute. Yeah, the 11th minute. There you go. De Silva got sent off there. 2-0 down to Newcastle United. Newcastle United's goals come from Joel Linton in the 33rd minute and Joe Willock in the 44th minute. And it's Crystal Palace 1, Burnley 1. Schlupp scored in the 9th minute for Palace to put them 1-0 up. And Burnley got an equaliser when Palace scored an own goal through Milivojevic. I think that's how you say his name. And that was scored in the 46th minute. So they just scored that. So it's 1-1 there at Sellers Park. And then it's Manchester United 0, Watford 0, still at Old Trafford. And Uncle Roy, I didn't realise this, but when I was doing my preview for the Premier League games this weekend, I was looking at Watford's current form. And since he's been there, he's really shored up Watford's defence, and they've become really difficult to break down and score against. And I don't know what it is with Uncle Roy, but he always does really well when he's managing teams that are in the bottom half of the table. When he went to Liverpool, he really struggled. And what I heard was the reason he struggled, one of the biggest reasons that he struggled when he was at Liverpool is that the players didn't respect him. And they kept questioning him about his CV and why they should have to listen to him when he hadn't achieved anything in the game, which I found a bit disrespectful, to be honest. But there you go. That's what happens. That's what football players are like, unfortunately. And then it's Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. Aston Villa took the lead through Matty Cash in the 17th minute. So they 1-0 up at the Amex Stadium. And last time we looked at the table, it was showing that Newcastle had moved up to 14th place. Let's have a quick look and see how things are currently standing. Yeah, so look, there you go. Newcastle currently are standing in 14th place in the Premier League. And it's looking really, really precarious for Everton there. They're 1 point off the relegation zone. Leeds are 1 point ahead of them on 23 points. However, Everton have got 3 games in hand over Leeds. They've got 4 games in hand over Brentford and 2 over Newcastle. So you'd likely say that Everton will get themselves out of trouble. And then yeah, so there you go. So that's that. That's the story there. And so, given how tight it is at the bottom and whatnot, who does everyone think? Everyone in the chat, tell me, what do you think? Who do you think is going to end up getting relegated out of the Premier League this season? Because for me, I think it's going to go right down to the wire. I really do. I think, let's get the table back up. I think it's going to run right down to the wire, as they say. And I think, when you look at it, you'd have to say that Leicester, Newcastle, Brentford, Leeds, Everton, Burnley, Watford and Norwich are all in the mix. I mean, I have to say it's looking extremely dicey for Norwich and Watford. But you never know. There's still a lot of games left. Both of them have got 12 games left, and they still could pull it out of the bag if they put a few good run together. But look at that current form of Leeds. They've drawn 1 and lost 4 of their last 5 games. And so have Brentford. So both of them, I'd say, are in serious danger. And Everton as well. But I'm not convinced that Norwich and Watford are definitely going to go down. I don't think it's cut and dried. I really don't. I think it might go down to the wire. But if I was putting money on it, way things are at the moment, and if things continue the way they are, then I think Leeds, Brentford, Leeds, Brentford, and potentially Norwich might go. But it's take your pick, take your chances. It's really difficult to say, really. But I'll be really interested to hear what you guys think. And that goes for the people watching on playback as well. And when I say, what do you lot think, and all the people in the chat, I'm talking as well about the people watching on playback. So put comments in about who you think is going to get top 4 and who you think is going to get relegated, who you think is going to get a Europa League spot, and who do you think will go into the Europa Conference League. I'd be really interested to find out all that stuff out. Be interesting to find out, really. See what you guys think. So, anyway, in Scotland, in the Scottish Premiership, it's Aberdeen 1, Dundee United 1. It's Dundee 0, Livingston 3. It's Ross County 2, St Johnstone 1. And it's St Mirren 0, Heart of Midlothian 0. In the Championship, here's the scores here. You can see all that. Burnley 2, Barnsley 2, Middlesbrough 0. Birmingham City 0, Huddersfield Town 2. It's Blackpool 1, Reading 1. Bournemouth 0, Stoke City 1. Cardiff City 0, Fulham 1. And then the games between Coventry and Preston, Luton Town and Derby County, and Millwall and Sheffield United. All 3 of those games are currently goalless. And then it's Nottingham Forest 1, Bristol City 0. And it's Peterborough United 0, Hull City 2. In League 1, it's Accrington Stanley 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2. AFC Wimbledon 2, Doncaster Rovers 0. So Donny taking a bit of a slap there by the looks of it. It's Burton Albion 0, Shrewsbury Town 1. It's Cheltenham Town 1, Crewe Alexandra 1. Lincoln City 0, Gillingham 0. It's Milton Keynes Dons 1, Bolton Wanderers 0. It's Wycombe 0, Ipswich Town 0. Oxford United 1, Cambridge United 1. Plymouth Argyle 0, Rotherham 0. Portsmouth 1, Fleetwood Town 3. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Charlton Athletic 0. And it's Wigan 0, Sunderland 2. In League 2, it's Barrow 0, Harrogate Town 0. Bradford City 0, Mansfield Town 2. Bristol Rovers 1, Exeter City 1. Colchester United 1, Oldham Athletic 1. Crawley Town 2, Forest Green Rovers 0. Leyton Orient 0, Carlisle United 1. It's Newport County 1, Tranmere Rovers 0. Port Vale 2, Stevenage 0. Rochdale 0, Northampton Town 0. Sutton United 3, Scunthorpe United 0. Swindon Town 1, Salford City 0. And finally, it's Walsall 2, Hartlepool United 0. So there you go. There you go. So. And looks like Christian Eriksen has come on the pitch. He's come on as a substitute. Let's see if we can see. Let's see if we can see what happened there. Yeah, so Christian Eriksen came on for Brentford in the 52nd minute. He came on to replace number 8, Jensen. So that's fantastic news, isn't it? That really is. I'm delighted to see that, I have to be honest. So fair play to Christian Eriksen. Wonderful moment at Brentford, says Phil McNulty from BBC. Is the BBC Sports chief football writer. Marvellous scenes here as Christian Eriksen returns 259 days after collapsing, playing for Denmark against Finland at Euro 2020. Straight into the action after a standing ovation. Understandably a bit over-eager and a little rusty, but what a wonderful sight to see this high-class operator back on the football pitch. Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. Brighton are looking for a leveller before the break, but Yves Bissouma drives an effort over the crossbar from outside the box. And Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. That's the break. Matty Cash's goal is given Villa the lead at half-time. And it's Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. The other games, it's round about an hour gone in the other 3 games, and it's Brentford 0, Newcastle United 2. It's Crystal Palace 1, Burnley 1. And it's Manchester United 0, Watford 0. And it looks like United almost took the lead. At the back, 2 Watford players lead the ball for Bruno Fernandes, laying the ball perfectly for Ronaldo, but the shot from 10 yards out is blocked on the line. So United very nearly took the lead there. There's been a substitute at Old Trafford as well, and there's an attacking change for United. Former Watford trainee Jadon Sancho replaces Fred. So it looks like United are really pushing for the victory. And if they want to get that top 4, they really need to win this game, because this would, most people would have said this was a nailed on 3 points for them. And Alex Bysouth and Shamoun Hafez are saying that Brentford will look better this half. Christian Eriksen is linking play well for the 10-man host, but it's still Newcastle who lead. Yeah, and they're 2-0 up at half time, 2-0 up in that game. So we go. Okay, so someone sent in a text to the BBC, person by the name of Beppe Signori. Stonewall penalty on Ronaldo there. Defender doesn't play the ball and gets plenty of Ronaldo. Shocking from Friend and Mason in the VAR room. Okay. Well, I don't know. I can't comment. I haven't seen the game. So Cristiano Ronaldo leaps majestically from Aaron Wan-Bissaka's cross, but a weak header is gathered by Ben Foster. That's the difference between Man United and top teams, says Dion Dublin, the former Aston Villa striker on Final Score. They are making so many chances. That's the difference between Manchester United and the top teams like Man City, Liverpool and Chelsea, who are doing well at the moment. They are ruthless. Well, I'm not quite sure that Chelsea are on the same level as Liverpool and Man City, but I know what you mean, Dion. But I don't know. I'm not sure that Chelsea are as ruthless as they were at the beginning of the season. Anyway, there's a substitution at the Brentford Community Stadium. Ivan Toney is coming on for the host, while Newcastle's recent signing Bruno Guimaraes is also getting ready. Bruno Guimaraes is a player a lot of Arsenal fans were hoping we would sign in the January window, but obviously they didn't. And Ivan Toney, the former Newcastle striker, replaces Johan Wissa. And Man United have gone close again. Oh no, not Man United. Watford have gone close. David De Gea is being called into action more than he would have wished. Imran Louaza's strike from long range bounces into the hands of the home goalkeeper. And then Brentford 0, Newcastle 2. Joe Willock finds himself in space on the left, in space on the left of the box. He looks up to try and find support, but there's no one with him. So the midfielder tries to bend an effort into the far corner, and it's just wide. And this is a substitution at the Brentford Community Stadium. And here's Bruno Guimaraes. He's come on for Jacob Murphy. And there's been a goal disallowed. Wyatt Weghorst thinks he's given Burnley the lead, converting from Jack Butland's save, but the Netherlands international is flagged offside. So I'm sure that'd be very disappointing for Burnley, but that Weghorst looks like he's been a real find for Burnley. He's starting to find his goal-scoring touch now. So yeah, Burnley very nearly took the lead. And Sentiment FC says Newcastle and Palace game more interesting than the United game. Well, it looks that way, mate. It certainly does. And there's been some drama now at Old Trafford, just as we say that. Cristiano Ronaldo just can't find the back of that Watford net as a cross hits him and looks to be rolling over the line. But Ben Foster pounces like a cat to gather in a nick of time. Yeah, pounces like a cat. Well, he didn't pounce, he didn't leap like a salmon and head the ball home, did he, Ronaldo? But the goalkeeper pounced like a cat. Jesus Christ, these people. And they just made me laugh. Some of the things they come out with, it's just unbelievable. So, 67 minutes gone, 68 minutes gone in the game between Brentford and Newcastle, and it's Brentford 0, Newcastle United 2. 71 minutes gone at Selhurst Park, and it's Crystal Palace 1, Burnley 1, and it's at Old Trafford, 70 minutes gone, and it's Millwall 0, Watford 0, and at half-time at the Amex Stadium in Brighton, it's Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. And Manchester United 0, Watford 0. Man United are lacking a clinical edge in front of goal, even with Cristiano Ronaldo on the pitch. They've got 20 minutes to try and find a winner. Yeah, and they've also got Jadon Sancho on. They've got Bruno Fernandes and Jesus. All that attacking talent, and they still can't score a goal. It's mad. And then down at Selhurst Park, Palace are aiming to retake the lead, but a vicious drive is battered away by Nick Pope. In the next move, the Ivorian rattles the post with a shot from an acute angle. So there you go. It's heating up in the games there. And here we go. Your book, son. Yeah. So there's been a yellow card. And Mike Dean flashes a yellow card at Newcastle keeper Martin Dubravka, which must be for time wasting. Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? So yeah, it's Brentford 0, Newcastle 2, Crystal Palace 1, Burnley 1, and it's Man United 1. Sorry, Man United 0, Watford 0, and Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. So for 3 of those games, there's just over a quarter of the match left. So time is running out, and there's Manchester United desperately need to find a winner. because that will be a fantastic result for Arsenal. I'm not going to lie, it really will. So, and what's happening now? Something is happening. Old Trafford, Alex Telles shapes in a cross, which is looped onto the roof of the net by Cristiano Ronaldo. That man just cannot score for love nor money, can he? He must be thinking, what the hell is going wrong here? Because it's not like he's not getting chances to score, is it? What's going on now? Disastrous if Man United lose, says Garth Crooks. Well, of course it is. Well, they ain't going to be fucking happy about it, are they? Jesus Christ. How do these fucking people get jobs in the media? That's what I want to know. No, they talk absolute shit. Of course it's going to be a disaster. It's one of those games where you are missing chances. It's not your day. Man United don't want to lose this. They may need to shut up shop. It would be disastrous if they lose this. And it would be disastrous if they don't fucking win it, Crooks. Jesus Christ. Honestly. What a muppet. Substitutions, double change for United. Luke Shaw and Marcus Rashford replace Alex Telles and the manager Matic. Is Matic still playing for United? Christ, he must be nearly 40, surely. Bloody hell. What's happening now? And another change for Brentford. And this is their final substitution of the day. Sergi Canos comes on for Christopher Ayer. So, and Brentford need to get a goal in the next couple of minutes to try and salvage at least a point out of this game. Because it's not looking good for them, is it? And then there's some comments here, so let's have a look at that. And Sentiment FC, Cristiano Ronaldo, that old goat is curry. I love it. Cristiano, that old goat is curried, mate. A curried goat done out, my man. That's funny. Sentiment FC. And Old Skool Gunner is in the chat. All right, Warren. Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks very much for coming in. See that fella there, everyone. The Old Skool Gunner. He's got an excellent YouTube channel, so go and check his channel out and subscribe to him. The link for his channel is in the video description, so please go and check it out. Also, go and check this fella's channel out as well, Del Boy Gunner TV. He is going to have the infamous and the... What's the best way to describe this fella? The infamous and controversial, I think is the best word to put it, best way to put it. Julian on his channel next week. What day is he saying he's got him on there? Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's 7:00, and he's having that clown Julian on his channel. Well, I don't know if he's a clown. He's just irritating and annoying. So, yeah, go and check his channel out. And when that fella comes on, we need to be bombarding him with really difficult questions and make him uncomfortable. Because the man don't stop talking absolute fucking bollocks. I'm sorry, but he does. And I despair of these people. I really do. But anyway, he's got his opinion. I do not share it, not by any stretch of the imagination. And I will be giving him a hard time, let me tell you. And the second half is kicked off down at the Amex Stadium after the delay for the game starting. Quite why it got delayed, I really don't know. I honestly don't know what happened. And then United gone close. They thought that was the moment. Cristiano Ronaldo funds a run of Bruno Fernandes, but the low shot is brilliantly blocked by the excellent Samir. And Crystal Palace won, Burnley won. Looks like everything is in check. Mark Guia is back on, but Mark Guia is back on, but he's not moving too freely. Brentford 0, Newcastle 2. Brentford had a brief spell when Christian Eriksen came on, where they looked dangerous, but they have struggled to get at Newcastle since. A long throw into the box is easily cleared by the visitors. So it looks like Brentford are really struggling at the moment. And I have to say, when I watched that Arsenal-Brentford game at the Emirates, they look really poor. Really poor. They look a shadow of the team that they were at the start of the season. When they beat Arsenal 2-0, they drew 3-3 with Liverpool. They got narrowly beaten 1-0 at home by Chelsea. I don't think they could buy a win at the moment, to be honest. They look absolutely terrible. So Brentford 0, Newcastle. Oh, yeah, we spoke about that. Man United 0, Watford 0. 15 minutes left now. Watford are having to face wave after wave of Manchester United attacks. Can they manage to keep the clean sheet? And there he is, this Uncle Roy, looking pensive there on the touchline. Wonder what's going through his mind. Watford are defending crosses well, says James McFadden. We've been critical of Man United's finishing, but you have to credit Watford. When the ball comes in for crosses, there is enough pressure on the attacker. And Kamara is on Wan-Bissaka, making sure he can't get a clean header. They've defended the crosses well. Man United have created so many chances, but are yet to find that breakthrough. Luke Shaw's looking for Ronaldo at the back post, but the cross sails all the way out for a goal kick. Lewis Dunk underhits a back pass and it puts goalkeeper Robert Sanchez in all sorts of trouble. He does just enough, but then Jacob Ramsey wins a free kick in a dangerous area. So it's still Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. A great strike from Philip Coutinho nearly adds to Aston Villa's lead. He bent in an effort which went over the wall and towards the bottom corner, but Robert Sanchez gets damn well to chip it away. And the teams are out for the game between Everton and Man City. Everton's starting 11 is Pickford, Coleman, Holgate, Keane, Kenny, Iwobi, Alan, Van der Beek, Decore, Gordon and Richarlison. Their subs bench is Begovic, Patterson, Gray, Townsend, Mykolenko, Braithwaite, Rondon, El Ghazi and Ali. And Man City's starting 11 is Edison, Stones, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo, Gundogan, Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo, Foden, and Sterling. And the subs bench is Carson, Slicker, Walker, Ake, Jesus, Grealish, Zinchenko, Fernandinho and Mahrez. And apparently Calvert-Lewin is out with a groin injury. Apparently he sustained a groin injury in training. And Decore is replacing him in the starting 11. And then we're into the final 10 minutes now at the Brentford Community Stadium, and Newcastle are looking comfortable. If the result stays like this, Eddie Howe's side will move 4 points clear of the drop and above Brentford. And at Old Trafford, Bruno Fernandes lines up one from range, but 2 Watford players are out to block. The Hornets counter and nearly sting Manchester United. Oh my God. This gets worse. But Juraj Kuka's miscues from the edge of the box and 7 minutes left to play at Old Trafford. Late change for Newcastle with defender Jamal Lascelles replacing goalscorer Joe Willock. So, with a little over 5 minutes left to play in 3 of the games, the 3 o'clock kickoffs, it's Brentford 0, Newcastle United 2, Crystal Palace 1, Burnley 1, Manchester United 0, Watford 0, and in the late kickoff, the game that kicked off really late, why God only knows, it's Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. And well, that disappeared. I hate it when they do that. They put something in saying it'll be a wonderful moment. There was a wonderful moment, and now it's just been taken out. What is the matter with these people? Garth Crooks be a massive point for Watford. Well, you don't say. Really? Oh, I wouldn't have guessed that. Fucking idiot. Right, so let's go back here. And Old Skool Gunner. Oh, sorry, Old Skool. I didn't realise you'd been putting all these chats in. I'm doing a double live stream. A double live stream? What do you mean? Oh, he's streaming as he watches me. There you go. That takes class, mate. That's class. I used to have Old Skool Gunner says I used to have a few enemies. Then I took out the old Hurley. AFTV in general are poison. Go Warren. What do you, Oscar, if you're watching, what do you mean by the fact that you had enemies? Has someone been giving you a hard time? I hope not. Matty Cash gets in behind from Philip Coutinho's lofted pass, but hooks an effort wide of the far post. And here we go. Here we go. It's time for some more magic. Your book, son. And a yellow card has been shown at the Brentford Community Stadium. A clever pass from Bruno Guimaraes to free Ryan Fraser, and Sergi Canos has to bring him down, finding himself in the book in the process. Man United 0, Watford 0. United being urged on by the supporters, but a nothing ball from Bruno Fernandes sails out of play. Brentford 0, Newcastle 2. A decent strike from John Joe Shelvey and a good save from David Raya to match it. So, not long left now, and the Crystal Palace game is into the 90th minute, and it's Palace 1, Burnley 1. 5 minutes to go in the game between Brentford and Newcastle, and it's Brentford 0, Newcastle United 2. And Old Trafford, it's still Manchester United 0, Watford 0. And 58 minutes gone at the Amex Arena in Brighton, and it's Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. Man United, the Old Trafford time is ticking away, approaching the final minute. Jadon Sancho close to winning it for United, cutting in from the left but curling it over. And then a yellow card, Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. A bit of a hack from Joel Veltman to Philip Coutinho, and the Brighton defender is booked. The yellow cards are totting up. And James McFadden says Sissoko has come to life. Musa Sissoko has come to life in the second half, but bursting forward when he's needed to, and getting back and helping with defending. Injury time at Old Trafford, and still Man United 0, Watford 0, and 3 minutes have been added on there. And they're in the second minute of added time at Sellers Park, and it's still Palace 1, Burnley 1, and it's Brentford 0, Newcastle United 2. So yeah, it's looking increasingly dicey for United, and their top 4 hopes are taking a bit of a dent today if it stays like that. Arsenal will really fancy their chances of catching United. They'll only be 2 points behind and have 3 games in hand. Not that that really matters, because points in the bag are far more important than having games in hand, but it heaps huge pressure on United if they can't get a win in this game. And Craig Malloy says, top 4 is up for grabs. The most consistent team will get that fourth spot. Well, yes, quite. I don't think it'll be Arsenal though, Craig. I'm still not convinced that we're going to get it. I'm really not. Sadly, Roy Keane will go nuts after this. God, can you imagine what he's going to have to say about all that? He'd be throwing punches in the dressing room, wouldn't he? Joking, Warren. Oh, okay, mate. Well, that's all right. As long as you're all right, mate. Right. And it's finished at Old Trafford. It's ended Manchester United 0, Watford 0. Excellent handling from Ben Foster. Cleanly catching Bruno Fernandes' shot from 25 yards out. Any spillage and red shirts would have gobbled up the winner. But he didn't. And it ended Manchester United 0, Watford 0. Then in the 4th minute of added time at Selhurst Park, and it's still Crystal Palace 1, Burnley 1. And apparently Watford nearly won it in the end. There was a long-range effort from Ismail Assar, but it fizzed narrowly over the bar. 2 minutes into added time at the Brentford Community Stadium, and it's still Brentford 0, Newcastle United 2. And it's ended at Selhurst Park, and it's ended Crystal Palace 1, Burnley 1. So of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, 2 of them have now finished. Brentford and Newcastle is still 2-0 to Newcastle, and they're in the 3rd minute of added on time there. So Newcastle looks like they're gonna win this game. When the games are finished, we'll have a look at the Premier League table and see what all these results mean for the standings. But at the Amex Arena in Falmer, it's Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. 64 minutes gone there. And what's happening here? Something's happening. Brentford 0, Newcastle United 2. That was a chance for Brentford. Christian Eriksen finds Ivan Toney. He helps it on to Vitali Janelt. He can only fire straight at Martin Dubravka. Deep into stoppage time now. Yeah, they've been in stoppage time for like last half an hour. Well, that's what it feels like to me anyway. They played 5 minutes of added time. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Brentford 0, Newcastle United 2. Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. Tariq Lamptey does well to evade one challenge, but his pass to Danny Welbeck has too much on it, and Emi Martinez is out quickly to gather. And yeah, I don't know if anyone else saw this, but apparently Manchester City have been linked to Emi Martinez. So, yeah. Another fantastic bit of business by Mikel Arteta. Bloke's an absolute fucking clown. He really is. So the game, I'm being told by my phone that the game at the Brentford Community Stadium has finished and it's ended. Brentford 0, Newcastle United 2. There you go, finally. And there's been a goal. And it came at the Brighton Amex Arena, and it went to Aston Villa. And Ollie Watkins has grabbed it for Villa, and Villa have doubled their lead. So it's Brighton 0, Aston Villa 2. Watkins scored in the 68th minute. So yeah, that's good news for Villa. Not so good for Brighton though. So let's have a look at the Premier League table. So Manchester United are on 47 points. The key thing is the battle for top four. So Manchester United have played 27. They've got 47 points. Arsenal have played 24 and have 45. West Ham have played 26 and they have 42. Tottenham have played 25 and they've got 42. Wolves have played 25 and they're on 40. And after that, Southampton have played 26 and they're on 35. And then the bottom three is Burnley, Watford and Norwich City. And Newcastle have moved up to 14th. And they played 25 and had 25 points. And Everton are now 1 point above the bottom three. 1 point ahead of Burnley, having played one game less. Everton have 3 games in hand on Leeds, but have 1 point less. Brentford have played 27, are on 24 points. So yeah, it's hotting up down there, and Leicester slowly being dragged into this as well. So it's really the relegation battle is getting intense. So let's have a look at some of the other scores around the country. So in Scotland, it finished in the Scottish Premiership. Aberdeen 1, Dundee United 1. Dundee 0, Livingston 4. Ross County 3, St Johnstone 1. So good win for Ross County and Livingston today. And it finished St Mirren 0, Heart Midlothian 2. In the Championship, it ended Blackburn Rovers 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Barnsley 3, Middlesbrough 2. Birmingham 0, Huddersfield Town 2, Blackpool 4, Reading 1, AFC Bournemouth 2, Stoke City 1, Cardiff City 0, Fulham 1, Coventry City 1, Preston North End 1, Luton Town 1, Derby County 0, Millwall 1, Sheffield United 0, Nottingham Forest 2, Bristol City 0. And finally, in the Championship, it ended Peterborough United 0, Hull City 3. And in League One, the game between Accrington and Stanley and Wycombe Wanderers is still being played. But it finished AFC Wimbledon 2, Doncaster Rovers 2, Burton Albion 0, Shrewsbury Town 2, Cheltenham Town 1, Crewe Alexandra 2, Lincoln City 0, Gillingham 2, Milton Keynes Dons 2, Bolton Wanderers 0, Morecambe 1, Ipswich Town 1, Oxford United 4, Cambridge United 2, Plymouth Argyle 0, Rotherham United 1, Portsmouth 3, Fleetwood Town 3, and the game is still going on. And it's finished Sheffield Wednesday 2, Charlton Athletic 0. And the game between Wigan and Sunderland is still going on. They're into the 8th minute of added time, and it's Wigan Athletic 0, Sunderland 3. And the game between Accrington, Stanley and Wycombe Wanderers, that's still being played. They're in the 5th minute of added time there as well. And it's currently Accrington, Stanley 3, Wycombe Wanderers 2. In League 2, it finished Barrow 0, Harrogate Town 0, Bradford City 0, Mansfield Town 2, Bristol Rovers 1, Exeter City 1, Colchester United 1, Oldham Athletic 1, Leyton Orient 0, Carlisle United 1, Newport County 4, Tranmere Rovers 2, and Port Vale 2, Stevenage 0, Rochdale 1, Northampton Town 0, Sutton United 4, Scunthorpe United 1, Swindon Town 1, Salford City 2, and Walsall 3, Hartlepool United 1. So there you go. In the National League, it finished Stockport County 1, Weymouth 0. So good result there for Dan Evans. I'm sure he'll be absolutely delighted with that. So big up to yourself, Dan. I hope you were at the game today and you enjoyed yourself. Let's get back to the chat. There's a chat there. And Craig Malloy says Newcastle are 4 points clear of the bottom 3. I know, it's absolutely mad, isn't it? Especially when you consider what happened at the beginning of the season, and then looked like it was going to be really difficult for them to avoid relegation. The relegation battle isn't over yet, obviously, but they're doing really well now. They really are. So there you go. So don't forget, for those of you who are interested and are not happy with Mikel Arteta being offered a new contract, there is a link in the description of this video for you to sign a petition to tell Arsenal Football Club that we don't want him being offered a new contract. So yeah, go and check that out. Also, I want to big up the Gunacore Trust. The Gunacore Trust is an excellent charity that provides disadvantaged kids with the opportunity to attend football matches at the finest seats in the house at the Emirates Stadium. Gives disadvantaged kids a great day out at the Emirates, which they otherwise would not necessarily be able to do. And then also we've got all these great YouTube channels I want to tell you about. Is the old school Gunner. He's in the chat. So he's got a great YouTube channel. I think he's streaming now. So when I finish this one, if he's still streaming, go over to his channel and tell him that I sent you over there, and tell him that I said to say hello. Yeah, he's been supporting Arsenal since 1992, and he discusses all sorts of different things to do with Arsenal. There's Arsenal Alex, passionate Arsenal fan. He does excellent shorts. His shorts are absolutely bang on, and he is able to say things in about 5-6 words that would take me probably about half an hour to say. So yeah, go and check out his channel because it's brilliant. He now and again gets the legend that is Kenny Ken on his channel as well. Then there's Drawn by Dre. He has an excellent podcast, amongst other things, called the Possession Based Podcast. A young lad who's a passionate Arsenal fan. Then there's the Aussie Gooner, another really passionate Arsenal fan and a top man. And he's the one that I got my theory about the Cronkies not wanting Arsenal to get top 4 from. And when I sat and thought about it, it just all makes perfect sense to me. Yes, go and check him out as well. Diesel Arsenal. Diesel used to be a presenter on the Claude and the Bances channel. He's got his own channel now, and he's trying to build that up. He's a really great guy. Love him to bits. And he can talk for England. He really could. It's not uncommon for him to be going for 2 hours or more talking about Arsenal and all sorts of other things as well. So yeah, he's a top man, and I really, really like the fella. And then there's Del Boy Gunner TV, and I've only recently found out about this channel, but his channel is superb. It's absolutely superb, and he's definitely moving. He really is. He does excellent Arsenal content, and he does it in a bar. That's the other thing that I love as well. First of all, I thought it was a green screen, but it ain't. He's actually streaming out of a bar. It's fantastic. Absolutely love it. And he's really, really passionate Arsenal fan, as are all these people. So there's links to all these channels in the description of this video. just click on the links and it will take you to their channels. Make sure you subscribe to them. Hit the like button on their videos and make sure you share their content around. They're absolutely superb channels. Old Skool Gunner says Warren is tearing it up. Well, I'm doing my best, my friend. Thanks for the shout out, Warren, mate. It's an absolute pleasure. I have a new Old Skool Gunner says, I have a new channel, Warren. Oh, God. Old School Spurs. Are you having a laugh? Jesus Christ. Well, I won't be going to look at that one, that's for sure. What do you think? I think you're having a wind-up, mate. That's what I think. Yeah, so anyway, that's the end of my show today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Before we go, let's just go back and look on what's going on with that Brighton game. Yeah, so 9 minutes to go. It's still Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Aston Villa 2. But I'm going to wrap it up now and call it a day. I hope you enjoyed the show today. And don't forget to put comments in the video about what you thought about today's games and what you thought about Manchester United dropping points at home to Watford and what you think that means for the top four, the race for top four, and also what you think about the relegation dogfight that's starting to heat up. I'll be really interested to hear about that. So yeah, thanks very much for everyone for watching. Thanks particularly to all the ones who are watching this on playback and all the ones in the live chat this afternoon. We've had Old Skool Gunner, we've had Craig Malloy, we've had Why Not Sentiment FC, Love Arsenal, Hate Kroenke, Taib Hussain, Delboy Gunner TV, Joanne Smith, and who else have we had? Yeah, so that's it. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget, let me just get this back. As I said at the beginning of the video, there's a link in the video description for a petition to show support for Ukraine and the Ukrainian people. If you feel so inclined, please go and click on that link and sign the petition. Let's try and support our brothers and sisters in Ukraine in their fight for freedom. So, yeah. But anyway, other than that, please keep talking, everyone. Please look after yourselves and your loved ones. And, yeah, share some love and kindness around the world, especially to all the places in the world where there's conflict going on and people being killed. And Old Skool Gunner says, God bless you, the Ukraine. Absolutely. So, yeah, please take care, everyone. Thanks very much for watching. I'll be back again really soon. I'm not sure when, but I will be back very, very soon. And take care, Warren, and everyone says, why not Sentiment FC, love Arsenal and hate Kroenke. Thank you, mate. And yeah, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the show, and I'll see you all again really, really soon. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye for now.